Hi, welcome back to the channel. So in today's class, I was teaching some kumite footwork drills using an agility ladder. And I find that most people tend to struggle, especially at lower grades or beginner levels, with how to actually move in kumite or in sparring. So I'm going to give you some of the exercises I was teaching today. They start from very basic to build up some fundamental movements for kumite, and then get a little bit more complex that we can hopefully bring into develop your footwork even further at a higher level. So the first exercise, like I said, is very fundamental and basic, but it's important to understand the movement. So what I want to do is get into a fighting stance just outside the ladder, and I just want to be tapping that front foot inside as if we're feinting, coming in for an attack. Again, always staying relaxed and staying light on the feet. That's the key thing to move well, is to be relaxed and light, okay, not too tense. The problem is that people tend to be very stiff and heavy on their feet when they're doing kumite. So we want to be nice and relaxed, and we're just shifting in and back, in and back, in and back. This is the starting exercise, the very fundamental basic movement drill. From here, what I want to do then is start adding a kizami-zuki. So from here, the same feeling, but just a kizami as we go in. Just in and out, again, nice and relaxed. It hasn't got to be too tense or any heavy kime or anything. I want to work obviously both sides, just drilling forwards with that front hand, pressing into the kizami and back from here. Pressing, in and back, up, forward and back into the ladder. So the second exercise is going to be a progression from there. What I'm going to do now is attack, switch. Attack, switch. So it's in, out, switch. In, out, switch. One, back. One, back. One, back. One, and back. Okay, so we're adding a little bit of a stance change into that now to increase the complexity slightly, but still fairly basic and fairly fundamental. So the next step to that then is going to be the same thing, kizami-zuki, switch, switch, back in again. Okay, so I'm getting a double switch now. I'm coming 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. So the idea behind these exercises is really just to build up some fluidity in our movement and get that switch and that spring off the ground a little bit more responsive, a little bit faster. So we're not so flat-footed and heavy when we're fighting or when we're doing kumite. So it's here, tap, 1, 2, and tap each time. So moving on now, we're going to change the exercise a little. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have one foot inside the ladder, and I'm just going to switch to the other side. 1, 2. Okay, so the back foot starts and the front foot goes second. I don't want to have both feet in the square at the same time. So I'm just from here, switch and switch. Switch and switch. Maintaining my focus as I turn. So my focus and my eyes are going to be the way I'm going. Switch and I'm back the other way. Switch and I'm back the other way. Switch this way. Yeah. Okay, so that's the next exercise and the next progression in movement. Then we stepped it up another level. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring back in the first exercise. So the tap with the front foot. I tap, bring my back foot round and come out. So I go 1, 2, back out. 1, 2, back out. As if I'm coming in for ushirageri. Okay, so I'm just spinning, leading with my back and my shoulders coming this way. So I go tap, rotate and back out. 1, 2, 3. 3 movements. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm working on both sides, of course. If you are interested in getting some martial arts inspired clothing and training gear, check out Art Martial Clothing. I'm partnered with them. I've got a link in the description of this video with a discount code, so check them out. Some very nice gear to train in and also to wear casually. So again, increasing in complexity. Now we're going to combine a few movements from the previous exercise with that last one. So we're going to make entrance and back out with kizami-zuki, in and back out with gyakuzuki, and then make a pivot around. So we go 1, back, 2, back, 1, and get back out again. 1, back, 2, back, in and around. 1, 2, in and out. Okay, so again, just staying fluid, staying light, and just flowing in the movement. Okay, there's no strength as such in the punches. I'm not trying to hit as hard as I can. I'm just jabbing those hands out, nice and relaxed, and working on that movement. So now we've got 2 more exercises left from the session I was teaching. this one gets even more complex. So we're going to combine the movement we did and add some further exercise to that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the same work. 1, 2, in, pivot, out, switch legs, and throw a front leg mawashi. So that's 1, 2, pivot, come out, switch legs, and mawashi from there. So I go 1, 2, in, out, switch, and mawashi from that position. And the final movement that we're working on is this work here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the outside of the ladder and the very end of it. I'm going to make that kizami and pivot round before I come out. So kizami zuki and come round. Switch legs to go back round. Punch, round the corner. Punch, round the corner. Switch again to come back in. 1, round the corner. 1, and round the corner. So I enter the square. 1, I'll pivot around that front foot and come back out. 1, pivot around and come back out from there. So that's it. 1, pivot and out. 1, pivot and out. So now we're kind of bringing a defensive element into that as well, because we're obviously sending that attack and then coming around as the counter may come in. 1, getting off that line each time. Attack, get off the line. From there, attack, get off the line. So there's the exercise we worked on today. Hopefully you can take some ideas from that, implement them into your own training, or maybe into your lessons that you are teaching if you also run your own classes. Remember though, the key to improving your footwork in your kumite is to be light and relaxed, okay? Just be loose, you know, nice and easy, relaxed movement on the toes, not on the heels, you know, want to be bouncing nice and relaxed and staying free and mobile. Okay, the more tense we are, the more it's going to be more difficult, and we're going to get stiff and slow and be unable to react very quickly. So if you enjoyed that, please give me a comment, let me know, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and I'll see you in the next one.